like an eternity since that potentially season-shifting win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Will the Denver Broncos build on their biggest win since Super Bowl 50, or will the Super Bowl 50 MVP Von Miller and his Buffalo Bills spoil Denver's hope for a streak for the first time since, 2021? I think September 2021 was the last time this team won 3 straight games.
I think that's right.
I feel like this is a Monday Night Football matchup that we will not soon forget. And I know I will not forget the guys who have been here with me throughout the season thus far. Of course, Super Bowl 50 champ, Todd Davis, and everybody's favorite football whiz kid,
Wow, that was a nice one. That's way better than what Zach says.
What did he usually say?
Usually just leaves a long pause and then says my name.
He's like, and.
Yeah, and.
Hey, I did hear the other day, I like what you kind of called yourself. You said Super Bowl 50 watcher.
Yeah.
I feel like that, anybody who watched that game from the comfort of their home.
Which actually makes me unique today, because you're like Super Bowl 50 reporter, right?
No.
Oh, you weren't there by then? Oh, no.
I wasn't there. I think I was still with the Avs at that time.
Okay, so there's two. So we have the two
watchers.
Exactly.
2 watchers.
2 players, 2 winners, 2 champions.
And I
thought I was
in full
special.
fan mode. Where did you watch Super Bowl 50 from?
I was in college, so I was a freshman in college. So I drove up to my family's house and watched there. It's like 2.5 hours back up there. Yeah.
I think I saw it at Highland Tap and Burger, which that was fun. I probably would have done it differently now.
Shout out to Juan. Highland Tap and Burger.
I
Shout out to
love
Juan.
It's a shame we didn't have the bar. If we had the bar for that Super Bowl, it'd be unbelievable.
It was crazy at Juan's joint, that's for sure. Where were you, Todd?
I think I was on the field.
Were you making big plays?
Seeing some confetti rain.
Yeah.
Made a couple plays. And had a good time.
I think we remember. I think we remember your efforts in that one. It's such a fun game. I'm so excited for this one. The biggest, I guess, reunion between 2 teams, or a team and a former player that we've had really in recent years.
I mean, it's pretty crazy to see Vaughn. Like, we've seen Vaughn play other games. Like, he'll turn it on. But he's been hurt, I guess, a bunch. We saw him in the playoffs with the Rams. We saw him in the Super Bowl, 2 sacks in the Super Bowl like he does.
Yeah.
But seeing him play against the Broncos in another uniform is just wrong. And I get that he isn't having the best season. Like, it's been 6 games. He has, I think the stat line is 1 made tackle, 1 missed tackle in 6 games.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty rough stat line. But he's coming off a torn ACL. He had like 8 sacks in 11 games with the Bills last year, and I feel like he's going to make up for those 6 games. I think we're going to look at tonight and say, 3 sacks. There you go.
I can't wait.
I don't want to hear that.
I hope he balls out. I really want to see him do well. Just as a friend, but I know what it feels like to go up against your former team. You just want to ball out, man. You do. So I hope he does. I know he has a lot of friends still on the team, but he wants to play well, and I hope he does.
Over under 1.5 sacks for Von Miller tonight.
I'm going to say he's going to get 2 sacks, so that's over.
I got to go over. I just have to think back to all of the things I've said about Von Miller in my life. Because he was drafted, I was like 14. You say some crazy, you have the best player in the NFL on your team for a couple years there. It's like, my stance on Von will not change. That's an incredible football player. He's getting as many sacks as he wants, as usual.
I think it's on the defensive coordinator to scheme things up for him to get the sacks. I think just like when Christian McCaffrey was so close to getting that touchdown, you scheme up plays, you find ways for him to get that touchdown. He didn't end up getting it, but it's on you as a coordinator to find ways for your guys who are in these kind of unique games to make plays.
Definitely.
Well, good news for the Denver Broncos is Mike McGlinchey and Garrett Bolles. This is as healthy as these guys have been all season.
True.
They're coming off a 15-day break after that big, like I mentioned, potentially season-changing win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Not a single guy on the injury report heading into this game, which is obviously great news. But given the break, do you guys think this team can really continue to carry that momentum that we saw 15 days ago? Or is 15 days just too long for that high to actually ride all the way to Orchard Park?
I think they can carry it a little bit. I think this is the game that you're going to see whether they have the juice or not. And it's really going to come down to the first half of this game. I think from the jump, we'll be able to see if they have remembered how tough it was to get that win over Kansas City.
Yes.
Or that they've rested on their laurels and went to Mexico in the bye week and had too much to drink. We'll be able to tell really quickly where this team is at.
They're locked in for this game, more than they have been in other weeks. They just made it so clear. I mean, you look at these last 2 days of practice, they have Bills logos painted at midfield on the practice field, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
For practice on Saturday, the last practice before the game, they start stretches. They they line up, they get going. First song, Monday Night Football theme song. So first 90 seconds, there's going through their stretches. They are locked in to this game, to the fact it's Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Fact it's the Bills. I like their chances.
You will know this. Did Sean Payton do that when you were in New Orleans? Was he painting opposing team logos on the field?
No, he definitely did like the theme songs for Monday Night or Thursday Night Football.
Okay.
But I never heard of him painting a field or getting us ready in that regard. No.
I feel like they made it seem like, oh, this is a Sean Payton thing. This happens all the time. But I'm like, I feel like we would have heard about this at some point if him or any coach was painting the opposing team logo on the field, right?
Yeah, I don't know what advantage it gives, but I love that you're keeping guys dialed in. Just another level of preparation.
Well, and that there's one guy in the building, whoever was in charge of
turf,
building those stencils, figuring out how to make the Bills stencil, get all the paint the field. That guy's saying, I want the Broncos to lose tonight so that we do not have to do this again.
Oh, no, if they win, it's every week.
Exactly.
Every other team is getting painted.
Just shout out to the Broncos turf crew, who was trying to find red, white, and blue paint this week. And they were just how the hell do you want us to execute this? But let's go ahead and talk about what we did see during that Chiefs game and if there's a chance that we see something similar tonight. Because obviously it was a unique offensive game plan for the Broncos. They ran the ball 40 times. I mean, Russell Wilson only threw the ball 19. Great timing in the red zone. Obviously had some nice connections there with, I love his connection with Courtland Sutton as of late. But is that the recipe for success this week against Josh Allen as well? Yeah,
and especially this week. And that's why I feel probably a little bit too confident about this game is because of the way these two teams stack up. I mean, this is a bottom 3 run defense in the NFL from the Bills when you look at yards per attempt. I mean, the reason why you lose Tremaine Edmonds, you lose Matt Milano to injury, and all of a sudden you've got backup linebackers who have played better than you'd expect for backup linebackers, but there's a big difference between 2 all-pros and the 2 guys they're going to run out there. So you've got the running game going on that side. Then the other way, all they can really do is give the ball to Josh Allen and hope good things happens.
Right.
So the running game on both sides should favor the Broncos, and I love that for them.
Well, now we don't have to play tug of war because my guy over here just...
Yeah, he knocked out everything else.
I know.
Damn it.
I know.
Sorry,
he's
ruined
on
the
it,
show.
man. He knows what he's saying, man.
Yeah.
It's because he has a laptop game.
That's all the answers.
I love it. What do you think?
I think it's the same thing. I think that this is a running game. It's built on the running game for either team to succeed. If we allow James Cook to have over 60, 70 yards, I think the Bills are going to find success and be able to put together a good game plan, and then we'll ultimately lose the game. But if we're able to run the ball successfully and really attack them in the running game and have another game where we have over 140 yards, 150 yards, it'll be a great night for the Broncos, and I'll be losing another game in the standings. So
but that's what we like to
happens.
see. That's what we like to see.
Crossed.
Shout out to Burr here, who just left a comment. He just asked, when is Dulcich coming back? Not tonight. Is expected to return at some point this season, but definitely not happening here tonight.
Some strange tight end things, though. So Nate Adkins, my guy, who's been playing all season for the most part, he's actually not getting a uniform tonight. They're bringing up Lucas Kroll from the practice squad.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. So he hasn't played much. I think he played 1 game for the Saints last year. But he's been on the practice squad all season. You'll remember Alberto had the big preseason game, 109 yards. The next night, Lucas Kroll had 107 yards. And the Broncos traded Alberto, signed Kroll, and he's actually been working a lot with Russ after practice. When Russ just wants to practice whatever routes, Lucas is kind of the guy who has to go run all those routes and run just 40-yard sprints back and forth for him. So I'm excited to see it.
Well, it is interesting because it is a part of this Broncos offense that they really have not been able to tap into yet this season. So do you think we're going to see a little Russ to Luke?
It'd be nice. Yeah, Lucas. Yeah,
Lucas?
maybe he goes by Luke.
Lucas.
Yeah, that is a good one.
It's a good name.
Probably not. Okay. Odds are he doesn't get a catch, but it'd be really fun if he has a big breakout game.
He has similar odds as Marvin Mims tonight, or what?
No, Marvin's going to go off.
You think?
Yeah.
I think it's time, man. I think it's time for him to get some more big plays. It's been a while. He's been kind of quiet.
Yep.
I think he needs to turn up one more time for us. And I think tonight's a good night to do it.
In case we don't get to it, that is my key to the game tonight. The Broncos win if Marvin Mims is targeted at least 4 times.
Okay. That's doable.
I
That's
mean,
a good
it's
one too.
incredibly
Yeah.
doable. It's just
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen. We'll get to your guys' later.
Okay.
The ones that really matter, right?
No.
Let's get to the defensive side of the ball. 4 turnovers against the Chiefs. Obviously, 1 on special teams to make it 5 total for the evening. But that is obviously not something that we can expect week in and week out. So how do they, if they can't generate that number of turnovers, how does this team beat the Buffalo Bills tonight?
Well, I think they'll still need turnovers, no matter what. They won't need 4, but I think
4
they
is
need
absurd?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 is going to be too many. Not too many, but I don't think it's doable. But if they get 2 and then they are able to score on 1 or turn 1 into points, I think that's their key to success. Trying to get 4 every week, I mean, you would be the most dominant defense to ever step on the field. You should try for sure, but I think 2 is the lucky number for the night. That's what I'm going for.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I agree. I mean, turnovers are going to be massive, and I just wonder where they come from.
Yeah.
Like, is it Justin Simmons? Is it Pat? Is it?
It's Justin Simmons. I think Justin Simmons has 2 picks on Josh Allen tonight.
That's big.
Or
Okay.
I'll give one Justin, maybe one to.
Baron Browning strip sack.
I like a Baron Browning strip sack a lot.
I like that.
I like that a lot for tonight specifically
Exactly.
with Baron kind of replacing the Von Miller, kind of a similar player as well. That would be, for Broncos country, that is exactly what you want to see tonight. Is Baron
Exactly.
Browning going off. Is my Slack going off right now?
I think it
Are you
is.
hitting me up, yeah? What are you talking about? I got to pull it up. Guys, speaking of Baron Browning, who are some other defensive guys who really, I guess, garnered your attention over the past few weeks, especially since that just debacle against the Dolphins? This team has improved so much defensively. Who have been some of the standouts for you?
Jaquan McMillan. That guy, it's every week now he's doing something crazy. I mean, you can go through all sorts of stats.
You
I think
wrote an amazing piece this week about it,
go
didn't you?
read it. Yeah. Don't do it right now, but do it after you're done watching us.
Yes.
But yeah, I talked to him about all this stuff. I mean, because he got the 1 game against the Chargers last year, been on the practice squad his entire rookie season, and then starts the final game. So we talked all about, what it's like going through that process. Like Damari coming up to him and just saying, like, my concussion is not getting better.
Yep.
You are going to start this week. And Jaquan just shaking and being terrified. But the point is, ever since then, he's been great. I think that if you look now, he is if you trust Pro Football Focus, which we usually don't unless it supports what we like to hear.
Yeah, I
Jaquan
like that.
is the best player so far this season on the Broncos defense. He's the number 8 cornerback in the NFL. He's the number 1 pure nickel cornerback in the NFL, and that's just based off of the tackles for loss. Nobody's really completing anything against him. He's playing great football, and I can't speak highly enough about him.
I agree. I think he's really been that guy who's captured my attention. But what about you, Todd?
For me, it's a leader on the defense, but somebody that I think people aren't talking about. I think Josie Jewell is having a fantastic year.
Quiet.
When he's not there, I think his presence is definitely missed. And when he is there, he's everywhere he needs to be. He's forcing fumbles. He's making big tackles, game-saving tackles. He's helping getting everybody lined up. It's not talked about enough, but he is one of the biggest pieces of that defense. And I think he deserves some praise. So hats off to Josie. He's playing really, really good football.
Linebackers always get forgotten.
I know. Well, do you remember the other day, or maybe it was last week, and I was like, the Bills, they're missing that one guy. He's great in the run defense. Like, God, what's his name? Could not think of Matt Milano's name to save my life. I was like, I think he's a defensive lineman, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't remember. And it's Matt Milano.
But it's Matt Milano, too.
Even now, you weren't confident.
He's another guy that has a similar
I said
story.
Effing.
Yeah.
I said effing. So I had to pause for the effing because I
You
should know
did.
Matt Milano.
That is true.
That's
That
what
is
the pause
true.
was for. It wasn't because I didn't know.
That is true.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No,
Something?
I think Matt is like a similar player like Josie. He's not a first-round draft pick, but he came in, he grinded, and he is one of the best linebackers in the league. But unless you're like a first-round draft pick, then everybody it's harder for them to remember your name. You don't get as much hype or as much love.
And Josie Jewell is a great name. Like if you're just like, you should have been first rounder based on the name alone.
Yeah.
Josie Jewell, it's incredible.
And the nickname, the Outlaw, and the finger guns, which we'll never see again.
It's so sad.
Thanks,
I wonder
no
if he
fun
has
league.
like a
Backup?
Yeah, exactly. Like it used to be like the 3 pump thing. Remember that? If you do 3 pumps, then you get the penalty. And so I think Vaughn at one point did like the slow 2 pumps. I wonder if Josie just like reaches for the holsters, but just
doesn't
leaves
pull
them
it
in
out.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that a little
Yeah.
bit. I feel like the next time you're in the locker room, you should ask him, like, hey,
Yeah.
what's the backup plan?
Usually when I'm around him, it's Alex kind of bullying me, but
Yeah,
and Josie's
that's
kinda-
true.
yeah.
They're way too close
I'll get
to
that
each
through.
other. Josie, he's one of those guys who could have a huge game here tonight, especially against Josh Allen. He now has thrown an interception in 5 straight games.
Yep.
But the one stat that I do not like about Josh Allen is that he is 21-5 when coming off a loss.
Yeah.
That is
Ooh.
the best in the league. And it just makes me a little nervous because this team is coming off a brutal loss
Yeah.
against the Bengals. And I think we should be
Yes.
concerned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just
I
a
mean,
skosh.
there's a lot of reasons that you could be concerned about this game.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they've averaged like 12 wins a season the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, there's issues with their team, but we know they're talented. We know if they go on to win the Super Bowl this year, you're gonna be like, yeah, they were one of the teams you would have expected to go do that. Josh Allen, early in his career, would not stop turning the ball over, and then as soon as he stopped turning the ball over, he became one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
But he's still throwing the most interceptions of
Exactly.
any
Yeah.
quarterback since 2022. So-
Exactly.
He's a gunslinger. I think sometimes that comes with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's similar to like Vaughn jumping off sides.
Yep.
To be a great pass rusher, sometimes it comes with,
Yep.
I may be a little bit early, but when I time it, when I put together a nice pass and really thread the needle, then it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think it comes with the territory, and I think the one thing about him is like you can never count them out. Like even if they're trailing by 7. With 4 minutes left in the game, like the game's nowhere close to being over. Like
Totally.
because he's a gunslinger, he's always going to find a way to put your team in a position to try and possibly win the game.
And that's why the Broncos, if they can get that running game going early,
Yep.
there's still a chance they come back, but you get a 2-score lead going,
Yeah.
he's going to start pressing. That's where those turnovers might
Yeah,
factor
exactly.
in. Might
Broncos
start to factor in.
need to control the clock, control the tempo of this game.
Real quick, we
How
got
are we doing, Todd?
we got a super chat from Jacob Weddle.
Yeah.
I believe Sean Payton was 10-3 coming off the bye week with 10-game win streak off the bye in New Orleans. Lock in Broncos, win tonight.
Wow.
You know, Jacob,
Love
thank
it.
you so much. I love that. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I picked earlier this week as a Broncos win.
Yep.
The only hater on set here tonight is this guy.
Right there.
Can I be a realist, not a hater? Can I be?
Why are
gonna-
you a real?
Everybody's
I
calling me a hater. I'm
understand that
like,
this team
dang, you know what I'm
struggles.
saying? I love my boys. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta keep it 100. Gotta keep it real.
We'll find out if you're a realist or a hater in about 3 hours.
We'll see.
I will
Yep.
say I don't love. I do not
Real quick,
love.
behind the peak, I
Yeah.
have TJ back here because
Oh.
he will be
Yeah.
special guest coming up. He is laughing at this.
Is he?
I see him giggling at this as he is talking about.
Oh.
I don't know why you're hating this week. Like, especially coming off that win against the Chiefs. Why did you pick the Bills?
I mean, we know who the Bills are as a team.
Inconsistent.
And inconsistent, but after every loss, they bounce back. I mean, the Broncos had a phenomenal game, but too many times throughout the year that I picked them and then they left me heartbroken because of what they did on the field. Like, I think the Broncos have been very inconsistent this year. So until I see consistency, I can't just pick them again. You know what I'm saying? I got to be real.
The one thing that I don't like about this Broncos reminds me of Billy Madison. Whoa, Miss Lippy. The part of the story that I don't like is the fact that the Broncos haven't won on Monday Night Football since October 15th, 2012 against the Chargers.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is such an absurd stat.
See?
I
Nah.
hate that. I know the stats aren't in our favor, Todd, but can you be the good juju guy this week? Because I tried it last week and it didn't work out for me. I remember I picked all AFC West teams to lose. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Well, since TJ is here, let's give a special introduction, Todd.
Let's
Can you
bring
do
out
it
my
for me?
boy, the one and only Super Bowl 50 champion, team captain, hard-hitting safety, one of the best to ever put on a Broncos uniform. Shout out to my boy, TJ Ward.
What's up, TJ?
That's good.
Hey, what's up, lady and gentlemen?
I appreciate you including me. You could have just said, "What's up, guys?" and I would have been like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Gotta be specific. So,
No, I appreciate
What's up,
that.
man? Everybody's calling me a hater on the show, man, because
And
I'm
I-
keeping it real about the Broncos. How you feel about tonight's game? What you think is going to transpire?
I got the Broncos, man.
All right.
I was watching and I'll be like, man, it's your own people sometimes, man. It be your own people. But I'm rolling with us tonight, man. Rolling with us for sure. I think we're going to run off that momentum from last week. I think we're playing better than the Bills are overall right now. and it's time for Josh Allen to turn the ball over like usual. And so I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
TJ and I are on the same page tonight. I
Yes.
love it. TJ, what have you really seen, especially from a defensive perspective, from this team since that's, they let the Dolphins hang 70 on them? Since that game and that embarrassment, these guys have really turned over a new leaf. What's some of the biggest changes you've seen with this group?
I think they became starting to play more physical. That's what I noticed most.
Yeah.
Like they're out there delivering hits on tackles. They're tackling well. Looks like there's more incentive or urgency to make the play out there. So I definitely first thing after that loss and some of the wins is the defense is playing a lot more physical.
Yeah, interesting. I think the big question is obviously who wins the game, but I think the other question is what's Vaughn going to do tonight in his first game back?
Man, I know Von's itching. I know he's out there itching. But I'm expecting a sack, man. Anytime Von's out there, you can expect nothing less than at least a sack. So he's feeling good, and I'm probably expecting that. So you got to take that with the dub. We'll get that up.
We here in Broncos country, we will forever love Von Miller because he still refers to us as we and we as him, and he's just one of those guys. He will always be a fan favorite here. I know you guys talked about this earlier this week in terms of your favorite Von Miller play, but TJ, what really stands out to you as your favorite Von Miller play when you guys were on the field together?
My favorite Von Miller play would be the sack in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That I recovered and didn't make to the end zone, but that's for sure my favorite play. It sealed the game for us, pretty much ended it, and got us our championship. So I could have went with the first one as well. It started with a touchdown, so any one of those sacks in that game, pretty much.
Yeah, that was definitely a great day and a great night. Brought home that trophy. What have you been up to since retirement? Being a dad. What's new with you?
Man, just working, trying to stay in shape, being a dad, that's full time. I got a 3-year-old, Terrell the third. We call him 3, so hopefully in the next 15 years you'll see him popping up somewhere. But yeah, that, my agency, Player Above Sports, and my nonprofit, our War Boy Project. So I got my hands pretty full these days.
You do have your hands full. We got to get you in studio here one of these days. You guys on set together, I think, would be pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Definitely be
that'd
a
be
good
awesome.
time.
No doubt. Next time I'm out there, whenever I'm out there, I'll come up for sure.
He's a world traveler, though. He be all over the place. We got to catch him when he's in town to get him in the studio.
I guess
Hey,
this
I'll
is why
probably
the
be up
Zoom
there
thing
soon,
works.
though. I'll let you know for sure.
All right, for sure. We definitely got to have you on.
Okay, give me a score prediction for tonight here, TJ. You're picking the Broncos to win, but by how much?
I'm going to go 27-21.
I like it.
All right.
Wow.
I hope you're right. I picked the Broncos. I didn't pick the Broncos tonight, but at the same time, I still want the boys to do good, so I hope you're right.
Yeah,
At the safety position, just have to ask, as always, your thoughts on this Broncos DB's room and just, like I mentioned earlier, just the evolution of how these guys have been playing this year. Justin Simmons, obviously, is somebody they can always rely on. K-Jack we won't see here tonight, worth mentioning, but there's some young guys who are up and coming in that room as well who've been pretty impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Justin, to see his maturation through the years is amazing. He's become a leader, all-pro, all-league type of player, so that's wonderful. And then the younger guys are definitely stepping up. I like what PJ's doing. He's playing very well right now. So, KJ, he unfortunately, he got a little too physical, but it happens, and can't wait to get him back. But he's been playing excellent as well. We got drafted the same year, so it's amazing seeing him still out there playing at this level. So I think overall, they're playing well, and they could get even better. So that's the good thing about it.
How is K-Jack still out there, in your opinion?
Man, I know the Lord is good.
What did you think? What did you think of the suspension? Obviously, the league's moving the way it's moving, but knowing who you were as a player, I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I'm kind of fortunate because they probably would have took mostly all my money. But you see guys getting fined and getting their money took all over the league for just normal football plays is kind of sickening, and it sucks. But it's just it makes it hard on us especially. But now it's even hard on the running back position because they, they're lowering their heads now and getting the fines. Where it's just like, come on, I mean, what are we supposed to do on both sides? Like, what are we supposed to do? So, hopefully, I don't think it's going to get any better, but you're going to have to work around it, I guess.
Yeah. I love that comment from Jess. It said a Super Bowl 50 reunion at DNVR would be so epic.
Ooh.
Okay, you guys can have a 4-person set, so you guys have 2 spots to fill. Who would you guys want on set with you for a Super Bowl 50 reunion right here?
That's a good. I think, to be honest, it's so many characters on that Super Bowl 50 team. I'm gonna step out and just let them have the mics. I'm gonna let TJ, probably Vaughn, Payton. There's characters. Akib. I mean, that's your 4 right there.
I think two is too few. Like that's impossible.
Okay, we'll make it a 6-person set. TJ, give me your other 5 because you're on it.
Me personally, I'm gonna have my no-fly guys on. That's what I'm gonna have. Me personally, but you can't. PN would be great. Vaughn, D. Ware, Chris. There's so many guys that that was on that team. Wolf, Malik. The list goes on. So
I don't know why you guys
just do a great group, man.
You guys should just do a podcast like once a week just together anyways.
I mean, don't tempt us. We might have to do that.
We can make like a 10 box here on DNVR. Everybody can call in from wherever in the world they're at.
Yep.
I think it's possible. I like
got
this
the
idea.
budget?
Yeah, for real. Who's cutting the check? We talked to my man Zach. Zach is in the
Zach
studio.
in the background over here.
We
Hey,
can show can make it happen.
Moneybags Stevens back there.
Call me.
I'll see what Moneybags can do. TJ, any final thoughts heading into this matchup here tonight? Monday Night Football. It'd be nice to see these boys get a
Monday
win.
night. I know the statistics are against us tonight, but I think we're gonna break it today and beat them Bills and surprise the world because nobody's pulling for us, not even some of us.
All right, let's do it. Much love, my brother. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. Definitely gonna have you in studio when you're in town. Much love.
All right, see y'all later.
Good get, man.
Yeah.
TJ Ward, the night that Von Miller plays against his former team. Such a good dude.
No, great man. And I love what he's doing. Life after football. For a lot of people, it's not an easy transition,
Yeah.
You gotta, go from something you've been doing for so long, something you kind of dedicated your life to and transition. And I think he's doing a great job of it. And I just wanted to have him on. Love that guy for sure.
Yeah, he's great.
Hopefully he's down at the Super Bowl again this year because he came on with us last year when we were down in Phoenix. So
you think he recognized you?
I couldn't tell.
You should have asked.
Yeah, should have asked. Yeah, should have asked.
Hey, do you remember me?
TJ, do you know who I am?
Hey.
I asked you about your fumble in the Super Bowl.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah.
Speaking of other good men, our good friend James Palmer from the NFL Network, he wanted to chime in today with his thoughts of this matchup. Yeah. Will you roll that beautiful bean footage for us?
What's up? Sitting at home in the home office or studio, whatever you want to call it, watching this game tonight, just like everybody else is doing. Is that a Styrofoam cup autographed by Richard Dreyfuss? It certainly is. What I'm looking for, guys, tonight, the number one thing is the Broncos' approach to Josh Allen. How do they contain him? He's essentially their entire running game. It's a little bit like when I talk to people around the league, it's like Aaron Rodgers back in the day. Hey, can you bail us out? Can you just do something for us? Scramble around, run around, make a play happen, please. We need that. And that's kind of been their offense. They had a great game plan on how they wanted to defend Patrick Mahomes in terms of caging him in terms of finding ways to not let him get outside the pocket and extend plays and then make plays with his arm or his legs, which we obviously know Josh Allen is great at that. And they spied him at times. They mixed it up front really, really well against him. And if they can do that against this offensive line that has had some issues protecting Josh Allen, I think the Broncos could come away with a road victory here, which would be massive. But keep an eye on that whole approach in that front seven against Josh Allen. Take it easy.
I mean, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, maybe a little bold.
Little bold comparison.
Not like crazy bold, but a little bold. Yeah, I mean, it is. He makes a good point with the running game basically being Josh Allen, because the way they want to play football is you snap it to Josh, and then he decides if he runs or he throws, and that's kind of how their offense works. And it was nice in the past when they were a bit more diverse and they could run the ball, but this is where they are, and it's probably going to come down to that at the end of the game tonight.
I think what's interesting is just James Cook and how they utilize him. Guy is their leading rusher technically.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen, he's the one with 6 rushing touchdowns this year. It's not James Cook.
Yeah, I expect his role to kind of expand as the year goes on. He's a good running back. Everybody expected him to be his brother. He's not his brother, but he's definitely talented. But Josh Allen, he's a tough guy to bring down. I think when you add that scrambling and mobility to the table, he's a big body, not really somebody you want to tackle in the open field. And then when you're covering your man 15 yards downfield, you got to turn around. He makes it really tough on people trying to account for him being as mobile as he is.
Speaking of cooking, James cooking.
Yep,
One
there
thing
we
you
go.
don't want to do tonight is cook. I can tell you that much. So it is as easy as ordering from our good friend Snarfs tonight. Monday Night Football, like I said, don't waste your time. Let's go ahead and get yourself a nice sandwich. The one thing that they really stress, as always, is quality. They have the highest quality ingredients that you could think of. They would rather substitute an ingredient than put something in your sandwich that's not absolute the highest quality. Can somebody check? Is that D-line choking
I think
back there?
I think that's Spence who's dying.
Is that Spence?
Yeah.
Somebody check. Is it Kale?
Oh, it's Kale.
Who is it?
He's
Kale,
behind
you okay? Kale is choking on a Snarf sandwich right now, but that's because it's so good he had to put it down as fast as possible. As always, like you guys know, they have tons of veggie options as well. I'm a French dip gal myself, so be sure to download the Snarfs app for online ordering and delivery. You can also join Snarfs Rewards and receive a special welcome offer of $5 off an order of $10 or more. There are also members-only offers, birthday gifts, referral points. Give them a try for yourself at our Broncos tailgates all season long out there at Empower Field. And what are you going to wash it down with, my friend?
Oh, Breckenridge Brewery. I'm actually going to have quite a few beers tonight. I
you?
say that
You say that every time.
I know, and I never have as many as I think, but tonight is the night it's actually going to happen. And you can too. Come down here and join us because we are giving away a whole bunch of vacation packages to join us in Vegas for this final game of the season.
Circa,
I'm not
baby.
sure. I think we're giving like 3 of them away.
Big time.
3 of them, and 2 people get to go. So like, you bring somebody with you, you make a friend, have a significant other, whatever. Last I saw, the bar was not nearly as full as you'd think it'd be. So come down, hotel tickets, all that, not hotel tickets, all that stuff. And you get to drink Breckenridge beers with all of us because those are the best and they're very important to show your support.
Speaking of the Circa promo, I just want to point out that of all the takes RG could have used, he used the one where I say, I got a new bikini. So of course I'm going to Stadium Swim. I have one that says, oh, football all day, going to Stadium Swim. But he uses the bikini one in the promo. It is the most embarrassing. Shout out to RG for blowing that. Speaking of what people are wearing, can we do a quick fit check?
Real quick, we're also brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery. Come get a Breck Brew.
Wow, listen to the show, yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Dang.
Wow, Yaya's first day on set again. Let's rate some fits. Oh, are you getting your rate cards? Okay. I thought Hank was leaving us. I was like, dude, this is
I knocked him over
this is
earlier.
your part of the show. Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's
Who's
do
our
it.
first one? Waiting on you. You here?
Oh,
God.
Dion
Damn.
Dawkins.
If you got it, flaunt it.
You know?
You know,
Wow.
Are
He's
those
got a lot
cargos?
of
I
it.
was telling you earlier how much I love cargo pants.
cargos are back. He got to be cold.
I was going to say
Ain't
in
no
Buffalo.
way.
Does anybody know the temperature in Buffalo right now? I'd be curious. 48. Thank God Zach
Ooh.
Stevens is here
Yeah.
in the background. It's 48 degrees in Buffalo.
The weatherman.
He has a nice couple LBs helping him stay warm.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna just cry. I'm gonna cry it out.
Okay.
I like it.
I went with confused.
Mind blown.
So I was going to go with the eyes, but I want to like cross the eyes out because I really don't want to look at that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ruin Yaya's cards.
I like the
so
confidence.
this
But
one
you
I
gotta
also
think
go
about
like
it. You came from the house, which is warm. Then
Uh-huh.
you hopped in the Rolls Royce, which is very warm.
Yeah,
and
I've
you're
heard.
taking a
Never
a
been.
2-minute walk to the stadium.
True.
So
I'm not-
you're very comfortable.
I'm not as concerned about the warmth as I am just like
The fit.
the fit, like the confidence, right?
Yeah.
Like I love a confident man more than anything, but like Dion, we might be too confident, my guy.
Todd and I were talking about this before. I think that you get away with that sort of stuff when you're in the NFL.
Yeah,
if
and
you
you're
have
a
that
big man.
same body and
Yeah.
you're like the guy at the pool who looks like that, everybody's like, not so good.
No.
Is that fair, Alexis?
I feel like I'm expecting it at the pool, though. I'm not expecting it in
Oh.
the tunnel during player arrivals, you know?
okay.
I don't know.
I
I,
don't
think
know.
Rick Ross can get away with it.
Rick Ross
Same
He's a
body.
okay, it doesn't have to be
so you gotta
NFL
be
player.
You have to
Yeah.
be
Wealthy.
wealthy.
Yeah.
He just wanted to show. He just wanted to show
Yeah.
off the tats this week. I like it. Watch Me Squash says that's a hard photo. You know what? I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Who's next? Yahia? Oh, Jason.
Oh, Justin's always clean.
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't he clean?
That exactly.
Always.
And it's always
Yeah.
custom too. That's what you know about Justin.
Yeah.
I like the chain
That
too.
you can't
I
find
like,
that at H&M.
I like the I like the cross. Justin, a man of God, family man, always dresses clean. We like
Looking
you,
good,
Justin.
man. Looking
Yeah.
good, Jay.
Okay, who's next? Yaya. Ooh,
Oh.
Baron.
Wow.
Okay.
I already used my sunglasses guy.
Oh,
That makes it tough.
what color do you think? Is that pink?
I
'Cause
just
It's like
barely.
a cream.
As somebody who's currently wearing pink during the fall, I like it.
Yeah, twins.
Twinsies.
Yeah, I think it's dope. I think a lot of players don't get dressed up on road games anymore. So salute to him for getting dressed up, putting on a fit. I feel like when you look good and you put on a suit, you remember it's a business meeting, man. I love being able to put on my suit before a game day and show up fresh to the game. So clap it up.
Did you wear a suit most games, or did you kind
Just
of
the
balance
away
between
games.
street and? Oh, okay.
All away
okay.
games were suits, and then all home games were
I
suit
like
wear.
that. I like that.
How many suits do you think you had?
Right now, I just reorganized my closet. I have like 25 suits.
Okay.
Not a lot.
I mean, not very few either. Not few.
A
good
lot
amount.
more than you, huh?
Yes. Like
Wait, do
3,
you
4.
have a suit? Because we were DMing you about the wedding fit.
Oh yeah. I've got like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I like to
okay,
just use
okay.
like the jacket and like some other pants,
Totally.
unless
That's-
it's like a real wedding, you
Black
know.
tie.
Exactly,
Yeah,
black
for sure.
tie.
So
there's
you
the
mix
phrase.
and match the pants and the jackets?
Like I just had like
You
kind of
saw
the
that.
I
Oh,
sent you
yeah,
the
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like just the
okay,
black
okay,
pants
okay.
with like the gray kind of like not checkered, like
Yep.
I
stripes,
swear they were khakis.
stripy
Were they
sort
not
of.
khakis?
Yeah,
I don't
were
think they
khakis.
were.
They were khakis.
They might have been.
We don't
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
khakis
Oh,
around
okay.
here. Okay.
Oh, that
last
was
one?
the Minnesota wedding. That might have been khakis.
Oh, Javante.
I
Is
like
that
this
Javante?
fit. Yeah. So he had on a Palm Angels crew neck, and then he had on some
Oh
represent
wow.
pants, which you can't see, which were like some bell-bottom pants,
Oh.
some flare pants. Looks
Oh.
pretty good.
Did you do some research before Rate the Fit?
Well, I mean, I just look at the fits. I feel like you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Also, shout out to Adam Newman in the background of that photo. That
it
one's
up.
fire. Javante always looks good. It's really consistent for him. Okay,
Yeah.
last
Oh,
one for us,
wow.
Yaya. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yes.
Oh wow.
That's who we wanted to see. Von Miller with Pat Surtain.
You didn't give us the cowboy yet
And he
here?
gave us, that's some Broncos stuff right there. That's a little nod to Broncos
Yeah.
country right there.
Yeah.
I don't have the appropriate one for this, so I'm gonna have to do sunglasses.
It's cold
I
in
wanted the
Buffalo.
hard eyes.
Oh, that's a good one.
There's no
I just
hard
got that
eyes.
one
right there. That's a couple of Hall of Famers, huh?
Yeah, wow, it
Potential.
really
Yeah.
is.
You're gonna get Pat Hall of Fame already?
No, I'm just saying. I said like eventually.
You wanna
He
bet
keeps
against
playing
him?
like this? I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
I would take the over
I like
under
it.
of him making the Hall of Fame.
Definitely.
For sure.
Okay, we're getting close. We have about 5 minutes left. I want to hear from Zach Stevens before we get out of here. I know he did something, I don't want to
Zach
call
attack.
it cheesy, but I feel like there might have been a prop involved. Let's see it, yeah.
Oh, hi, friends. You caught me doing a little reading on Super Bowl 50, the one that this guy, Von Miller, helped win as the Super Bowl 50 MVP for the Broncos. Of course, doing some little recap on Von Miller's time with the Denver Broncos as he faces the Broncos for the very first time since leaving 2 years ago in a trade to the Rams, where then he went on to win a Super Bowl. Now he is with the Buffalo Bills after signing a massive contract, and Von Miller means so much to the hearts of Broncos country. And also Broncos country means so much to Von Miller that this game is going to be emotional. It's going to have so much to it. And it's on prime time football, the Broncos' second prime time game of the season and their first one in the next 6 days. The Broncos will have an opportunity to not only turn their season completely around and get one game within 500 and tie the Los Angeles Chargers for a 4-5 record, but they'll also have an opportunity to really steal the hearts of the country and have the opportunity to steal the spotlight away from the Bills and show that the Broncos are back potentially. That's what this game means to Denver. Lose this, you fall to 3-6, and you fade out of the national spotlight. Win this one, and you have an opportunity to go to 500 next week against the hot Josh Dobbs and the Minnesota Vikings, who are on a 5-game win streak, but we'll get to that game tomorrow. Right now, it's about Von Miller and tonight. And Von Miller, he has 0 tackles this season outside of 1 assisted tackle. He has no sacks. He has 1 quarterback hurry, and that's it. He's coming off the ACL tear. He's only played in a couple of games so far this season, but I'm still deathly afraid of Von Miller because we know he is the ultimate closer. If the Broncos are trailing and need a score at the end of the game and Von Miller is able to pin his ears back, I think it's game over. I think Von Miller will end this game. So the Broncos need to get up, and then that will allow them to have their formula of run the damn football. And speaking of running the ball, there's one line out there that I absolutely love over at the betting sites, DraftKings, Circa, Bet365. It is Jaleel McLaughlin rushing yards, 16.5. That's about half of the rushing yards that Jaleel typically has in these past 5 weeks. I love that. I've taken it, and I think the Broncos are going to run the ball. Reports are that it's windy out in Buffalo, so Javonte Williams, his over-under set at 54.5 rushing yards. I think he hits that. I think Jaleel hits his rushing yards, and I think the Broncos are going to try to control this game by controlling the ground. The Buffalo Bills have a good defense, but their rush defense is not good, and they're missing some key players in the running game that's going to allow the Broncos to have success on the ground. And you factor all of that in, especially what the Broncos did against the Chiefs the last time they played, which feels ages ago. 40 rushes, 30 touches for Javonte Williams to only 19 passes for Russell Wilson. That's the formula that Sean Payton's going to try to implement. The key is just not letting the game get away where they're down 17 and then they're forced to throw. As long as this is a close game, it should look very similar to the Chiefs game where the Broncos defense came up huge. So the Broncos, good news coming out of the bye week. They are as healthy as can be. No big names missing here. Every single person on the 53-man roster practiced this past week, so no surprises when it comes to the inactives. And the Broncos made a little move today. They activated David Sills, wide receiver, to be their 5th wide receiver. I don't expect him to do much tonight, but keep your eye on tight end Lucas Kroll. He was also activated to the game day roster from the practice squad. He is a guy that is as athletic as a tight end as the Broncos have with Greg Dulcich on the injured reserve. He's 6'6", nearly 260 pounds, nearly ran a 4.6 40, 25 years old. He's very athletic. I don't expect him to be involved. He might not even see the field for an offensive snap for the Broncos, but he's a guy that if he gets the ball in his hand, he might just surprise you. So that's a name to keep an eye on, but really it's all about the Broncos running game. And let's see if Sean Payton can stick to it. I think the Broncos easily cover the 7.5 point spread. I give them a chance to win. In fact, I'm going Broncos victory. We're going to be talking about how the Broncos can get to 500 starting tomorrow. All right, guys, send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Zach. All right, guys, we're like 30 seconds to kick off. Really quick, Todd, the Broncos will win if?
The Broncos will win if we're able to capitalize off the aggressive throwing that Josh Allen loves to do. If we're able to get our hands on 2 picks, turn one of those picks into points, I think that's the way we win this game tonight.
Bills will win if?
The Bills will win if they don't turn the ball over. If they can keep it to 1 turnover or less, they're going to be in great shape.
Okay, I think Broncos win if Marvin Mims is targeted 4 times or more. Bills win if they win the turnover battle because they're 33-1 when they do that. Don't love to hear that, but we really hope that you guys will join us for the post-game show as we break it all down for you as Von Miller faces off against his former team for the very first time. We hope we'll see you guys here in a little bit.
We all silly like the mayor.